We are doing a men's full chest and stomach wax today. I'm using Rebel Wax gel-based formula. This is gonna be great for more of an advanced waxer or speed waxer. So if that is you, keep watching. Even if it's not you, my beginner waxers, you're going to learn the patterns that I use. So either way, keep on watching. So I already pre-cleansed and pre-oiled. Now I'm just wiping away any of that excess oil. I prefer to use a paper towel. It's like kind of exfoliating a little bit too, but it just covers more surface area at a time. Okay, so the plan of action is going to be just like back wax. So if you haven't watched any of my back waxing videos, go check those out. But we start with a base strip, super, super important. So I'm going to start with the sternum here. We're actually going to be using painter tool method. If you don't know what that is, and this is foreign to you, make sure you take my free 6-week course. You can click here and enroll today for free. So we really want to look at direction of growth. So he actually has 2 different patterns going on. So I'm going to split this into 2. He has right here goes down and here's going up. So I have a little bit too much wax on my stick for that area. I'm going to get a little bit less. We're going to start where that clear direction changes. Don't put too much pressure on the neck right here, but we can't leave that hair behind. Leave him with just like some random neck hairs there, but just make sure, we always want to be applying really great pressure when we're applying our strips, but not on those sensitive areas like the neck. And I am making this a little bit on the thicker side, so it's going to take a little bit to set. I really like to set myself up for easy removal on these base strips. Really important. It's actually nice that his hair grows upwards because this is a little bit of an easier area for me to get a good grip to remove. I obviously can't do this at the same time, but I may get a stomach strip baseline going too. So his hair kind of switches directions here as well. Be mindful of where your hand placement is. I'm going to be using painter tool going upwards. You can go right over the belly button. All right, perfect. See how it turns like kind of this opaque color? That's when you know it's good to remove. I'm gonna get a little grip. So I'm still using my left hand. I'm not pushing into his throat there. Okay, deep breath. This one is spicy, you guys, so you gotta pull it quick. Lots of sheathing, totally normal for this area. So make sure you pull quick and you put great pressure. Look at that removal. This is what I'm talking about with gel, you guys. Gel, Rebel Wax is elite. You majorly reduce the amount of cleanup strips you have to be doing. That's like super incredible result. So some people say, oh, it's expensive. Well, are you going through less wax? Is your client having a better experience? You're ultimately gonna actually spend a lot less when you're not having to do so many cleanup strips. I know I'm biased, but I created this formula for a reason. All right, now we're just gonna keep working on this base strip here. So now we are following the direction of the hair growth again and going down. Okay, it can be difficult to get a grip when you lay your lip into an area that has hair. So best thing to do, use your left hand, really pull taut. I'm kind of pinching almost as if I'm pinching the skin too. It doesn't hurt the client, but I'm getting a good grip. Deep breath. Get a little lift. If you don't get it on that time, do not stop and be like, oh, I'm freaking out, I'm picking at it. You just readjust, get a grip. Okay, now I have a decent little base. Yeah, deep breath. If that happens, immediate pressure. Now I readjust and pull the rest of the way through. Not ideal, but the worst thing to do is get stuck, freak out, half pull that, create more discomfort for your client, forget to apply pressure. You need to make sure you follow all the normal removal protocols, okay? So don't freak out on those ones. Once we get these base strips done, it's gonna make our life a lot easier. Same thing, I'm gonna get a little grip. Okay, one more deep breath. You really wanna muscle these, you guys. It can truly feel like it's fighting you. So when I'm getting ready to remove this, I am not saying, okay, I'm gonna remove to the end of the strip here. I'm pretending like this strip is laid up to his chin so that I'm pulling all the way through and not getting stuck like I did on the bottom here. That bottom strip where I got stuck was a prime example of what happens when you do not pull all the way through the end of the strip. All right, this last base strip here, and then we can start with our tiger stripes. All right. Pinpoint bleeding here, super normal. Actually, really good sign that it's being removed from the root. The pinpoint bleeding comes from the hairs that have a lot of sheathing. So what is pinpoint bleeding? Actually, each hair follicle has a little blood vessel that connects so that it's actually feeding oxygen, and that's what helps stimulate hair growth and make it really nice and healthy. So for the hair on our head, we want lots of that going on. For the hair on our body, not so much. So when we remove and disconnect that blood vessel, you get a little bit of purging. It's not something that's going to be a continual bleed. If that happens, then like something went wrong, but you're gonna see a little bit of a purge, so it's a good sign. Now, this is why we recommend waxing every 4 to 6 weeks, because we wax before the hair has enough time to rebuild back up that structure, right? And that's when you start damaging the hair. Get a little grip here, one more little grip. All right, deep breath. Again, I didn't pull all the way through. I did not muscle enough. I stop, pressure, the rest of the way.
Quick interruption to the show, and yes, this is an ad, but wait, before you skip, I actually have a free gift for you. So if you're frustrated with your current wax, or you're just looking to try something new, keep on listening. I'm giving new customers the chance to try Rebel Wax for free so you could test in your treatment room before committing to a full-size bag. Instead of wasting money guessing which formula might work, you can test out 2 formulas and see which one is best for you. You can claim 2 free sample bags choosing from 3 different formulas: gel, hybrid 50-50, my personal favorite, or cream. If you are a licensed esthetician or a waxer and you've been looking to find your perfect formula, this deal's for you. To claim this deal, you'll visit lashandwaxoc.com, type in samples in the search bar, and then go ahead and choose the 2 bags you would like to claim. Add them to your cart, and at checkout, go ahead and use the code TRYREBEL. This offer is for licensed estheticians and students and is limited to 1 claim per customer, so everyone gets the chance to try. Head over to lashandwaxoc.com, claim your free gift. I hope you love it. I think you will. Now back to the show.
The hardest part is done. Now we're going to start on our tiger stripe. So you can choose. Start from the bottom, work your way up, top to bottom, whatever you want to do. Common on the chest area for this hair to start growing upwards. So I'm going to work from the top, starting here down, work my way down, and then come in and clean that up at the end. All right, so now we are using small basic. Really want to make sure I'm following the direction of the hair growth here. So we kind of do this little swervy motion here and create my lip where I created clean space for me. All right, we can lay multiple strips at a time, especially with this gel-based formula. It does give you a little bit more time before it's fully set, so you're able to really get multiple strips down, which I love. Thinner the hair, thinner the strip, thicker the hair, thicker the strip. So I am thickening this up a little bit more than I normally would do or need to do with a gel-based wax. Don't forget you have a second hand, so I'm always using that to hold the skin taut with application and removal. Okay, I'm gonna get a little grip here. Deep breath all the way through. Again, little grip. I pull right up to that hairline. I'm pulling taut with my left hand, deep breath, all the way through. I get a little grip here. All right, deep breath. You know what, side note for you guys that I feel like is often overlooked is we really want to coach our clients to avoid caffeine, especially if they tend to be on the more sensitive side, because caffeine is a stimulant, so it can add to the discomfort. So if you have, my client is doing fantastic, he's doing fine, but if you have a client who's really struggling with the discomfort level, you guys know I hate the word pain, but discomfort level, really want to recommend that they avoid caffeine prior to their waxing service. It sounds like the wax strips. If you guys hear some weird background noise, we are a functioning warehouse and we're actively sending out all your orders right now. So you'll hear some taping of boxes in the background there. We do ship really quickly, so if you guys get your orders in, we ship same day up until 2 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. All right, deep breath. So on these ones, you really want to keep in mind pulling all the way through, okay? Because I have a little bit less distance, so make sure that you're positioning yourself and setting yourself up for success on these removals. So I'm going to pull halfway, deep breath, one more. I don't wait too long to get that second pull because it's just torturous for the client, but I really want to make sure I'm pulling all the way through and staying parallel to the skin. Get a little grip. Okay, deep breath, one more. We're going straight over the nipple. I know it can seem terrifying, but I promise you it is okay with hard wax, and we properly prep the skin. Super important. Now at this point, I mean, it's so clear what we have left. This is why patterns are so important. This is probably one of my favorite services. I would say like back is like my favorite ever. Especially when you got a good wax like Rebel. Want to watch the setting time, making sure we're not letting it set too long. All right, get a little grip here, deep breath. Get a little grip, deep breath, one more. All right, that strip still has a little time. Now, make sure you're not getting into the underarm area from here. That is a different service. All right, that one is now ready. Left hand holding taut, deep breath. So recommended service time for a men's full chest and stomach. Technically, on our studio menu, these are two separate services. So chest is its own service, full stomach is its own service. But when combining, really the goal should eventually be 30 minutes, just like doing a full back wax. When you're first starting, you'll want at least an hour to complete this. You really don't want to be going more than an hour. When you're practicing, that's fine, but once you're taking paying clients, I'm gonna give that one a little bit more time. You really want this to be under an hour. First goal, an hour, work your way down to 30 minutes. So chest is gonna be considered anything that's above where like a bra, so like I just call it the bra line up, that would be chest, and then anything below that would be considered stomach. And this is also a common service women will get as well. Especially, you want to have a sternum strip available on your menu as well. That's a common add-on service. All right, get a little grip, deep breath, all the way through, immediate pressure. All right, get this one, little grip here, deep breath. You can always do, if you have a hard time getting a strip up, you can use the previous strip. You kind of press it in so it molds together. Get a little grip here and deep breath. All right, so this hair goes up, so we're going to make sure we're following that direction. Now, why do we do that? It's to make sure that we are not breaking any of these hairs and that they're truly being pulled from the root. We don't want to be pushing into the neck, but I'm still holding the skin up to kind of help me lift this right here so I can get a good grip. So that's a really big tip or point, I guess, of being able to get a good removal is holding the skin taut. So really pulling away from the lip kind of helps to lift it a little bit so you can get a good grip. It's kind of tricky when you're working with the neck there and we don't want to be putting pressure, but it's that pulling away from it that helps it will just kind of slightly lift a little bit.
I was going to say, that's aggressive.
It is. They're committed. You can also use your stick to help you get a little bit of a lift too if needed. I don't want you to get used to doing that all the time, but just know that's like an option available to you. When you're doing chest, stomach, back, all of it, we really want to make sure we're mapping out correctly the underarm. So I already did it on this side so you can kind of see what I've left behind. That looks natural to where, you know, hair grows on an underarm. You can kind of see the direction of growth changes a little bit. You can always take off more. You can't put it back. So just play it pretty conservative. Take a look at it. See what you think, and you can always take more off, okay? Don't just go ham and start laying a bunch of strips. So I'm gonna start right here. We're following the direction of the hair growth. We wanna make sure that we're not passing the crease here and getting into an arm wax. That's a different service area. So we're just really working from the crease down and avoiding the underarm. I have a feeling I want to take some of this hair off, but I wanted to show an example of just play it conservative. You can always take more off, okay? If that happens, immediate pressure, stop, readjust, and pull quick. You don't want to be tugging on those longer hairs there. All right, I think that's looking pretty good. So of course we'll remove this next. This is a little bit of thinner hair, so I can lay a thinner strip. Thinner the hair, thinner the strip, thicker the hair, thicker the strip. All right, now while that's sitting, I'm gonna go ahead and clean up his side as well. Got a little grip here. All right, so we are on to, we got the sides cleaned up, underarms look good, cleanup strip time. So if you watch the back wax demo from last week, then you'll see I grabbed our 50-50 blend for cleanup strips. So I'm gonna do the same thing here. So this is a histamine reaction. It's common for him, he's had this before, and our lights went out and we're trying to grab new ones, but you guys can get the gist of what's going on here. So histamine reactions, just like I explained in the back wax video, very common for full back, chest, stomach, for men and women, most common area to have this. So he does actually take Claritin on a regular basis. So that is what I would recommend for a client, is 30 to 45 minutes prior to their appointment. And then I'm going to end the service with Just Calm Down by Relax and Wax. And that is a topical antihistamine. Then very important to also go over all aftercare instructions with your client of no like gym, sauna. So it's heat and friction that you're trying to avoid. So just a few more cleanup strips and then we are done. So like I was saying, avoiding heat and friction is really what we want to avoid. So working out, sauna and steam rooms, jacuzzis, tight clothing, anything that's gonna make you sweaty, you want to really avoid at least 24 hours. And then I also recommend going home and doing like a cool shower can help as well. But those are some things you guys can recommend to your clients. But don't be alarmed, it is normal. It can be annoying and unfortunate, but most people think it's worth it to deal with that for 24, 48 hours really usually is like the longest I've seen it last. But the results of being hair free and thinning and softening your hair usually outweighs that. So you just want to be, actually this is a really good point. You never want to take a brand new client, especially for these services, right before a special event for them. So for example, my demo model that I have in right now, I asked if they have a trip coming up. I was like, when is this trip? This isn't something I would do right before their trip, just so you're not dealing with this while on vacation, especially if you're going somewhere where it's gonna be nice and warm, hanging out by the pool. So just be mindful of that in your consultation forms. Go over those types of questions, okay? I like to get a new client that's coming to me if they're preparing for a special occasion, trip, wedding, something important. I really like to get them started at least 3 months prior to the event so that we can get 2 or 3 services under our belt and really nail down their routine, both before their waxing appointment and then after as well, to make sure that they're getting really great results when it comes time for the event or trip. So cleanup strips always go in the opposite direction. So I'm actually going against the hair growth. So the majority of this hair left behind is growing downwards. So I'm gonna go up against. Using good pressure, making a pretty thin strip. I will be removing these when the strips are still fairly tacky, a little bit tackier than when I remove them for an initial strip. You can remove the cleanup strips a little bit slower too, because there's not too much hair, and it really helps to kind of tweeze out all those little guys. And that's pinpoint bleeding that you're seeing, that my strip's lifting. All right, so we're ending the service with Just Calm Down by Relax and Wax. You wanna be pretty generous with this. So if you guys wanna go and see our back wax demo we did, then you can go ahead and click here. And if you'd like to learn all about histamine reactions, folliculitis, then go ahead and watch this video here. All right, I'll see you guys over there.